This is kind of interesting as well. This is from the 33rd team. Those are former NFL executives, some former GMs. Wide receivers set for huge contracts. And this is why the extension for Jerry Jeudy made a lot of sense. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, Nico Collins. You do get Amari Cooper down there at number 10. Those are all guys that are going to get new deals coming up next year. The price of wide receivers is like the price of quarterbacks and edge rushers. It's going to keep going up.
Yeah, and historically, Andrew Berry has gotten ahead of those trends. I mean, he did it when he traded for Amari Cooper 2 off seasons ago now. And the way he was talking at the owners' meetings last week, I know my colleague Mary Kay Cabot, who was down there, who talked to him, she feels this way, I feel this way. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them working a new deal out with Amari here fairly soon. The way Andrew Berry talked about him, how much they love him. I know the word love was used, and he didn't have to go that far in talking about a player he never does. If he doesn't truly believe it, I think the Browns know how valuable Amari Cooper has been. And I think the good thing for him is that they're really good at managing the cap. They're really good at rewarding guys, rewarding them for future performance, especially knowing how important they are to this team. So I think that that deal could be coming, fairly soon. Now, that could be relative, might wait till the season starts, but I think that it'd be really important to extend him, to keep him around here, especially before that market blows up. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why they did the Jerry Jeudy extension the way they did. And some people are like, well, why would you pay him all that money? And it's like, because if he has a really good year and he has a 1,000-yard season finally, this is going to ultimately look like a bargain for the Browns, and the market's going to keep going up. So I do think I wouldn't be surprised, just because we've seen Andrew Berry do this before, get ahead of that wide receiver market specifically.
Yeah, and the thing they like most about, and they love his production on the field, Amari Cooper is the Nick Chubb of the wide receiver realm, and you don't usually get wide receivers that are, look at Stephon Diggs. He's forced his way out of 2 places. And Amari Cooper is the anti to most number 1 wide receivers. He just wants to win.
Yeah, and he's been traded twice, and it's one of those guys. I know he's talked about being, a bit surprised that I think his time with the Raiders and then the Cowboys, it had kind of, materialized the way it did down in Dallas. But I know that Oakland trade, I'm pretty sure he's talked about he was surprised when that happened at the time when the Raiders got rid of him and sent him to Dallas. So it is surprising. His path is interesting in that way. He didn't force himself out in either of those situations. He very much does have a Nick Chubb type of personality that's well documented. This might be, well, it's gotten, I think, a bit more personality in it the last 2 years, adding Elijah Moore in there, adding Jerry Jeudy in there. But Amari Cooper's a pretty quiet guy for the most part. He's content to go about his business. He loves to talk football. He loves to talk route running. So, yeah, I definitely think if he's going to be in a place, he's going to give his all there. He's not going to be that type of guy to force his way out of a scenario because of individual production or whatever. And I think we saw that he is capable of doing so much to take this team to the playoffs. And obviously, I know they all want to get farther than they did this past year, which was just a wild card appearance.